Paprika.
I'm Jen.
And Jen is here to, well, teach me how to cook.
Yep, that's what we're gonna do.
I remember, was it a year ago already?
Maybe 6-7 months ago.
Okay.
Something like that.
So Jen invites myself and a couple of other people from our job here to this very house.
Yes. Yeah.
And she wanted to make us a meal, right? And I was so excited because I love food. I call myself a foodie. But when I tasted the food and saw the presentation of the food that was from this woman right here, I was like, how come I don't know? How do you know how to do that? I want to learn I know how to make spaghetti and macaroni and cheese. And
we're going to step it up a little notch today.
Step it up.
Just a little bit.
Okay,
yeah.
So what are we making today?
Well, we are going to do a Cinco de Mayo inspired meal since we only got a few days left. So if you're going to throw a party and you want some nice, easy to make meals that, anybody can make. So we're going to start off with making a spicy shrimp bite. Yeah, so yummy.
I love spicy.
Right? We're going to have a chicken chimichanga and a corn salsa. And we're going to finish it up with some really yummy churros cupcakes.
Yay!
I know.
Desserts. Yes, you always have to have it. So here's the deal. She said it's for anybody. Anybody can make this, right?
Anybody can do this.
She had to dumb it down for me.
No.
Okay? Specifically for me. No, seriously. You have no idea how excited I am for this. Plus, I'm hungry. I came with an appetite.
Excellent.
So I'm ready to cook.
All right, well, let's get started. So, because we live in the middle of the desert,
yes,
we don't get fresh shrimp in. If you can take a trip over to Seattle and grab some, fabulous. Right. If not, I just grab frozen shrimp that are in the grocery store, and I make sure that I get them raw because they do come cooked as well, but you want raw shrimp. So, to prepare shrimp, we got to drain out the bag, thaw them out. Now, when you get them there frozen, I take them and put them in the fridge the night that I buy them, and then the next day I just leave them in the bag, soak them in some warm water to thaw them out. If you don't have that, you can put them in a colander and run some warm water on them. Not hot, you don't want to cook the shrimp, you just want to thaw them out, okay?
And shrimp could actually cook very fast,
They
right?
cook very, very fast.
Yeah. You
will find that most places won't do it because it takes so much time.
Yeah.
So they won't do it, and so I always check my shrimp when I get it.
Do you
yeah.
really?
Yeah, I'm like, I don't think I want to eat
Jen
that.
is
right?
a shrimp snob.
Yeah, well, I'd like to just eat my food and not what they've eaten.
Yeah.
In our mix for our spicy shrimp, we are going to do some smoked paprika, and this is where I do kind of my somewhat measuring. So I've got a teaspoon here, and I go a little bit over because I like that smoked flavor in there, and you can go a little less if you don't want it to be quite so hot. One teaspoon of chili powder, and I go just a little over on there.
So how long have you been cooking, Jen? When did you know you loved cooking? I can do this.
My grandma used to bring me in the kitchen with her when she would cook, and I was more enthralled with the idea of making somebody happy. So when you got to feed somebody something and they were like, oh, that's really good, I was like, I think I could be all over this. Yeah. So then we're gonna do just a half a teaspoon of cumin, and now with the cumin, it's you can smell. It's a nice warm spice, but it's strong. So that one I try to stay pretty close to whatever
the after smell is.
Right?
Yeah.
I use sea salt, and I always use the Himalayan pink sea salt because it's got better nutrients in it than regular table salt, of course. And it's pink, so you can't go wrong there, right? Yeah. Okay, now I do my wet, which will be, I just use extra virgin olive oil, and I just use 2 teaspoons of this. So that is our marinade. That's the whole thing. There's not a whole lot to it.
Sorry, I'm slow.
No, just
the smells so good already. I can already tell this is going to be really, really good.
So I've got my oven preheated at 400 degrees right now. And we're gonna put that cookie sheet in there, and those shrimp don't take hardly any time at all to cook, maybe 6 minutes at the most. We want them to just become opaque. We do not want them to be cooked too long because then they become really chewy. And we don't want tough shrimp.
Nope.
So our shrimp has plumped up a little bit, but it has not gotten chewy. And you know how to open an avocado.
Right.
You eat them all the time.
I can
right?
make avocados plain, so which
you
is
do.
weird because when I was little,
Didn't like them.
yeah, I was like, what is that green nasty stuff?
All right, here's another trick. I like a little flavor in there, but I don't want it to be too mayonnaise-y.
Okay.
Right, a lot of people put mayonnaise in their,
We didn't go to
right?
Yeah.
In their avocados to make guacamole, but I just use just a very small amount of ranch dressing and some lime juice and call it good.
Nice.
Yeah, and so it just gives it a little bit of creaminess, but it doesn't make it go over the top with the, you know, too much mayonnaise and it gets too soupy, and you don't need those extra calories in there anyway.
Right,
so if you can get, you know, a light ranch dressing or whatever you want in there, you just don't need much, because we just really want to maintain the actual avocado taste.
And avocados can be a little bland if you eat them by themselves. Trust me, I would know. So I always put like garlic on mine. If I'm
You can absolutely do that.
Yeah.
So I'm literally, that's it. That's the whole thing. You can see, you don't need more than that. Lemons and limes, if we want to get the most amount of juice out of them, and a lot of us don't have a, you know, a thing where you can spin them on there, right? So you're gonna put them on your board, and we'll set this over here to the side. You're just gonna take the heel of your hand, and you're gonna push, and you're gonna roll it back and forth.
Okay.
Turn it over once, and roll it back and forth. And what that does is it breaks that membrane away from the actual meat and allows it to, all the juices to start, because you disrupt the inside of it.
Okay.
So we're gonna cut that in half. And now, limes don't have a whole lot of seeds in them, but I always wanna make sure, so I put my hand over the bowl, and then I'm gonna squeeze over my hand so that I make sure I don't get any seeds in there. And allow that just drain right on through your hand there. We're gonna do a little trick for presentation, because a lot of times, you know, you want it to be nice and pretty when you put it together, when you've got a dinner party or whatever. So just take like a quart-size Ziploc bag, and we're gonna spoon in.
Because it's all about presentation.
Right?
Yeah.
In the end, you do all this work, you want it to look pretty too, right?
Especially for the gram. Got us done on the gram.
Right? Beforehand, we cooked our shrimp, we got that going, we made our guacamole, so now we're gonna assemble. So I'm gonna go over here and grab our plates that we'll use for our presentation. So I always pick a nice pretty plate, and you try to have something comparable to the size of the food that you're gonna put on them.
Okay.
So if I had a huge dish here, I wouldn't want it on a small plate because it would look out of place, but these are just little bites, so they'll look perfect on here.
And I'm not saying that this is where Jen got them, but I've seen these at the dollar store. So if you want to be fancy without, you know, spending too much at that point, go to the dollar store.
Yeah, I think actually we probably got them at the home store, the one that's over by the mall.
Yeah.
Yeah. No, I use piping bags a lot, but you don't have to. You can just get yourself a nice Ziploc bag.
This was the guacamole we just did.
We just made this guacamole. What I'm gonna do is right over my bowl here. I wanna make sure, because we kept our avocados chunky, there's still some pieces in there. We wanna make sure the hole's big enough. Otherwise what happens, you get like a big backup, and then you go to squeeze it everywhere. And I've done that more than once. So I want a decent sized hole in here. So I cut that right over. And so you can see, we've got a hole here. And I'm gonna have you do this, I'm just gonna show you on one. So it's coming out of the bag here. So we're just gonna squeeze a dollop.
So cool.
And then just pull to the side.
Yeah.
Because we want it to stick to the chip, right? So just squeeze and then pull to the side.
Yum. Do I put the whole thing in my mouth? That guacamole is good.
Is it?
Shrimp is good.
Yeah.